Hi everyone, it's Christine from the Art Studio. This video I'm going to show you how to create this watercolour snowy scene. This is designed for children to follow this video, although it is really suitable for people of any age. For this picture you will need some watercolour paper if you've got it. If not, a heavyweight paper, so not anything that's sort of like photocopy paper or anything like that, something with a bit of weight to it. You'll also need some watercolour paint, so something a bit like this. So I recommend a tin of watercolour paint, so something in a pan rather than a tube. You need some water and a pencil. So this is just a 2B pencil, and also a fine liner if you've got one, or just a felt tip pen. Okay, so start off, what you need to do, you need a piece of A4, so this is A4, you could use A3, but you need a piece of A4 paper, and I've prepared this one just to sort of show you. On here, what you'll need, I forgot to say this, you need some masking tape. Now this masking tape is just from the local pound shop, so it's not very expensive, and to start the picture off you need to tear some strips of tape. Okay, so if you have a length of tape about like this, and then just tear it, what you need to do is tear it very slowly down the centre like this. Okay, and then place your torn strips on the paper, because this is going to be your trees. Now when you're doing this, it's important to make sure that you've overlapped the creases. This is so, and you'll see why in a little while, so that paint doesn't get in between them, because what this is doing is blocking out the areas where the trees are going to be. So on this example I've put just two sets of tape, so I'll have 2 trees, but you could have 3, you've got room on there to have 3, but make sure it's stuck down well, and I've stuck it to the table as well so that it doesn't move too much. Okay, so you should have 2, or as I say, you could have 3 on there. Once you've done that, I'll just put this over the top so you can see. You need to start to add your watercolour background. Okay, so I'm using quite a thick brush here. It doesn't really matter, you can have a sort of thinner brush if you want. You don't need to have anything too thin, because you want to get a bit of movement on there for the background. And what you're going to do is put a fair amount of water on your brush. Okay, and then pick up the blue, and then just with sweeping movements just go along the background here. So you want quite a lot of water. It needs to be quite light, because it's supposed to be a snowy scene, so as you're going along you can add more water if you want to sort of make it lighter, but for the purposes of the video it might be an idea to sort of keep it sort of quite blue. Okay. Once you've done that, rinse your brush and then pick up a little bit of black, and you don't want too much because you want it to be quite sort of grey looking, and you're just going to fill in the ground part where the snow is. Okay, so that just goes over, so you can see it's quite wet. Now what you can do is you can add just a little bit of salt. This is just table salt, and you can just sprinkle this on, and what this should do is it should absorb some of the paint and the water, and when it dries it will create sort of snowy effect. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, so you have to just see how it goes, but once it's dry it will create a sort of textured snowy sort of scene. That's the idea with it. Okay, so that's the second thing. You need to put this to one side to dry. You could dry it with a hairdryer if you wanted to sort of speed up the drying process. once you've done that and it's dry, it should look a bit like this. Now on this one I've started to take off the masking tape, so I've taken this one off here and you can see it's left an outline where the tree is going to be, and then I've left this one just to sort of show you. So as you start to pull it away, you need to pull it towards you, go quite slowly, and if you're getting children to do this, help them, because they might be excited and sort of want to pull it off, and then if you're not careful, you take some of the surface of the paper. So pull it really slowly, pull it towards you and try and keep the tape close to the paper as you go. Okay. Once it's sort of pulled off, you can see here it's left this nice outline. Okay, and we're left with a sort of impression, if you like, of the snowy sort of birch tree. If I just show you back to the original one, so you can see on here I've left the salt on here to show you. Once you've done that, what I'm going to get you to do is to do the shadow and then add the detail in. And for the shadow, I'm going to use exactly the same paint as before, and just observe where you want your shadow to be. So for example, this one, I would paint that in going this way, so I'm in keeping with the tree, and I'm just doing it a little bit darker so that you can see that the shadow is formed on the painting. Okay. Once you've done that and that's dried, the next thing to do is to add the details of the trees themselves. Okay. So as I said, I've got this permanent fine liner. You may not have one of these, but you could use a felt tip pen, and with this just adding in a few little sort of textured marks to show where the tree bark is. So just going down, and the children can do this, so it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be certain thickness or anything like that. It's just sort of little marks coming in to show where the bark would be. And then the last thing is to draw in a little fence along the back here. So when you've done your sort of horizon line, it could be up higher, it could be lower, the horizon line. You just need to add in your little rickety fence, and that's it. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. It is really sort of quite simple for children to follow with some guidance, and it creates quite a fun result. And as I say, you could have room for a third or even fourth tree on here. Thanks for watching. Bye.